Micklin Law Group, which is a law firm concentrated in men's and fathers' rights in divorce, custody, and family law issues, with offices in Nutley, Montclair, New Jersey. Today is Monday, March 18, 2019. I am in New Jersey. I say this every time, so if you watch all of them, I'm sorry for the repetition, but if you're watching this at any other time or in any other state, you really need to make sure that what I'm saying applies, hasn't been changed, and applies in your state or your jurisdiction. With that, this is the tip that I had advertised I was going to do on Friday, but I got delayed. I couldn't do it. I had hoped to end that week on what I called a positive note, because today's tip is about parenting time schedules. And the intention is to let you know of the different options that are available so that you don't feel like you're locked into what the court tells you or what other people have, and you'll know the different options so that you can bridge the gap and maybe come to your own solution. So with that, let me jump through what I know to be the options for parenting schedules. And I'm not talking about custody. I'm not talking about sole or legal or decisions. I'm talking about just sort of overnight schedules and the different options. First one is your traditional schedule. I call it traditional because it's what used to be granted in almost every case, and that was your alternating overnight weekends. That can be anytime from Friday, usually after school, till either Sunday or a Monday return at school. It is traditional. It still applies if that's the schedule that you want and that works for you and the children. The next and the most common that people are asking for now is equal parenting time. And there are a lot of options with equal parenting time that you should consider. And usually I recommend, depending on the location of the parents and the age of the children. First, people often think equal parenting time means like 1 week with one parent and 1 week with the other. That can be done. It's common with younger children, it's not common with younger children. It's usually common with older children because younger children, a lot of parents don't want to have that much of an absence from the time with the child, so they don't want to go a week with it. If you are going to do the week on, week off, I usually recommend you build in a couple phone calls during the week so there isn't a big absence. But again, this schedule really only works well with school-age children. Or not works well, but it works better with school-age children. And the other two ways to break it down, more commonly you'll do a 4 and 3, meaning 4 with one parent, 3 with the other, then 4 with that last parent, and then 3 with the first. That allows for equal sharing, but it also allows over time for each of you to get equal weekend times without having to actually schedule who gets each weekend. That's good. Again, that's better with younger children, usually before school or early school, like preschool, kindergarten areas, so that the back and forth doesn't really interfere with schedule or curricular activities. And then the second and most common one also is like a 2 and 2 schedule. This is really only good with really young children, and 2 and 2 meaning 2 days with one parent and 2 days with the other, and then 2 days with the first. That's very rigorous for children that are in school because of a lot of packing and supplies that are needed to go back and forth. So I don't usually recommend that for anybody other than young children. Aside from those traditional types of schedules, the traditional and equal, you also have what's called nesting, which is where the children stay in one residence and the parents alternate in and out. So you'll have a home with the children, then you'll have like usually one apartment or house for the parents. So when one parent is at the house with the children, the other is at the apartment. And then the parents flip, but the children stay settled. Very rigorous on the relationship. It's only effective when you have usually cooperation between the two parents. But it's a favorite schedule. A lot of people who don't want to disrupt their children. Next is you can have the children set the schedule based on their desires and their schedule. Not a good choice in most situations unless you have very mature children and a good relationship with the parents. Children aren't usually well versed in making these kinds of decisions, but it is something to consider for older children, teenage children that sort of have their own lives and their own schedules going. You might want to give them a little bit of freedom to pick the schedule. That way they're more inclined to want to actually participate in the schedule as opposed to resisting it and trying to fight for their own lives. Then you have also a right of first refusal, which can be also part to the traditional schedules that we're talking about. In addition, the right of first refusal is when one parent who's supposed to have the children won't be able to exercise time or won't be around for a significant portion of the time. It can be anywhere from a few hours to overnight. In a case like that, the agreement would be that the other parent should be given the option of taking the children for that time, since the parent who's supposed to have them won't be there. So it's called the right of first refusal. And then lastly, there's really anything else, and that's really the point of this message and these options, is to tell you you can agree to anything. You can agree to a traditional schedule, you can agree to a week on, week off, you can agree to change it. You might have one schedule during the school year, one schedule in the summertime. You can change it for parent or for holidays and vacations. You're not locked into it, and that's what I really want to urge people to consider. As custody laws are changing and more so fathers' rights are being recognized greater and you're having more custody time, schedules that are traditional need to change. And these are just some options. But again, I want you to take from this that you're not bound by any of them. You can agree to anything that you think is good for the children and that the other parent agrees to. I hope this information helps you. If it does, please give this video a like and share it so that other people get to see it. Subscribe to my page if you want to get notifications when I go online so that you can get this without having to check my schedule each day. And lastly, if there's anything that you want to see, just send me a message from whatever medium that you're watching this on, and I will try to address it for you. Thank you, and have a good night. I'll probably be on tomorrow at 4, my plan, but I haven't chosen the topic yet. So if there's something you want to see, anybody here, just send me a message. I got to set my timer off. Thank you.